Now we'll start the account payable accounting. And the big change we have in the account payable accounting with respect to the S4 HANA, it is the business partner. Business partner concept, it is not new in the SAP. So it was like introduced in the finance in its first edition only, 1503, when we have come up with the simple finance. So, why it was introduced, and prior to that, it was being used in the CRM, in the GRC, in some other component of or the module of SAP. So, like we have one module called functional this financial supply chain management, that is the FSCM. So, in that we use this business partner. So, why it was introduced in the S4 HANA within the finance in the simply in the finance simplification, I would say. So when we used to do the compilation, when we just merge the data or when we compile the data across these module, for example, I'm going to consolidate the data from finance to CRM or from function supply chain management to the finance. So at that point of time, there were some challenges when we used to do the consolidation, because we used to use the business partner in the FSCM, whereas we used to have the vendor customer as a partner we used to have in the ECC. So at that point of time, during the consolidation or during the summarization or when we are doing the reporting, so at that point of time, there were some challenges coming across. So to avoid that thing, so SAP has now come up with the business partner so that we will be able to, or the data could be synced with any of the module within the SAP platform. So that is the reason they have introduced this business partner. And with this business partner, we have the master data synchronization. So what do you understand by the master data synchronization? And before we go for the master data synchronization, we have the business partner role. So like we know that when we used to work in the ECC, so whether it is the customer or vendor, so we used to have the segments. So we still we have the segments. So in the vendor we have three segments: general data, company good data, and we have the purchase data. Whereas for the customer we have the general data, company good data, and we have the sales data. Now it is saying that when I have created the vendor at a general data level. Now I need to create it for finance entries. So I will be extending it to the finance rule. And for that, we used to give the information at a company code level within the finance. And likewise, if I want to have a purchase invoices for the same vendor so that we can create the purchase order for the same vendor. So we used to create it to the purchase organization. Now it is saying that that particular thing we will be able to do not only the vendor. So if you have a business partner and that business partner you want to link it with your, or you want to use it as your customer or as your vendor, so you will be able to do it not only as a vendor or as a customer. So if you want to use your business partner as a treasurer or as a some other business partner, maybe it would be the bank or some other type of person, organization, or the group we want to create as a business partner, so that we will be able to use it into the in the system. And master data synchronization means, and for that we need to choose the relevant role. So here you can just see we have the standard rule for the business partner. It is 6 times 0. So this is the business partner role 6 times 0. With this, we will be able to set up the business partner. But the same business partner, if you want to use it for the finance entry, so it is required that the business partner needs to be extended to the BP role for the finance, which is Standard, if I say, it is FLVN 00 provided by the SAP. Then the same business partner, for the same business partner, if you want to have the purchase invoices and against that you want to create the finance entries, so for that we need to have the purchase role or the supplier role for the business partner, which is FLVN 01, and again it is provided by the SAP. And if I talk about the customer, so same way the customer role has been given. So if we want to create the business partner and this is to be maintained at a general data, so again it is going to be 000000. But if I want to create that BP at a at for the if I want to create that BP as a customer from the finance role. So for that, I will be using the finance role, which is FLCU 00. And if for the same customer you want to create the sales invoices, so for that we need to extend the business partner to the role which is FLVN 01. So in short, if we have any business partner, so that we will be able to use for any type of business transaction we have within the system. And for that, we need to choose the relevant role for that particular business partner. So that is the meaning of the synchronization. That is now your business partner role is synced with any of the partner we have, whether it is a vendor or it is a customer or it is any other type of partner with whom company or the client is dealing with. So here it is saying that when we are going to create the business partner or the customer or vendor, so what we need to do? So first of all, we need to create the vendor, and the process of creation of a vendor, it has not been changed. It is same. So for, like if you remember when we used to create when we create the customer or the vendor, so first of all what we need to do, we need to create the vendor account group. Then after that, we create the number range. We link that number range with the vendor or customer account group, and then we start creating the master data. Here also we will be doing the same thing, but along with this, we will be also creating the business partner. So with respect to the business partner, what we will be doing? So first of all, we will be choosing the role that okay, which role we want to create the business partner. Then after that, we will be creating the BP grouping. Like you have the vendor account group, same way we have the business partner account group, and then we will be giving the number range. So that number range we will be linking with the business partner, because when we will be creating the business partner, we will be getting the number. Same way when we create the customer, we get the number. So in this case, we will be having the three numbers, and these three number could be common and these three number could be different. Let's say if I'm going to create a business partner and that I want to create as a vendor, so now vendor and customer, so these are the two numbers we have received, and now business partner you want to create as a customer as well, then the same business partner role can be extended into the customer role. Now in that case again you will have the number for your customer. So business partner number you have already received. So it is up to you or the configuration setting we have made. These numbers could be same and these number could be different as well. So this is what we have, and within this we have the CVI integration. So CVI integration is nothing but your vendor customer vendor integration. Customer vendor integration means the business partner when we are creating for the vendor invoice posting or for the customer invoice posting. So the same BP same business partner we can extend it to the customer role as well as vendor role. So that is a CVI integration. Now I will just show you how we can create the business partner and how we can extend it to the vendor or customer and how we will be able to have the same number or the different number. So for this, it is saying that what we need to do. So first of all, we need to create the vendor account group. And for the creation of the vendor account group, because why I'm creating the vendor account group, I can go for the BP account grouping also. here I need to have the same number of my vendor as my BP number. So I want to make sure, because here in this case, if you want your vendor number same as your BP number, so in this case, what we need to do, we need to maintain the number range for your vendor as external and number range for your BP as internal. Same way, it is saying that if you want your customer number same as your BP number, so in that case also we need to have the customer number, we need to have the numbering for the customer as external, whereas the BP number as internal. So here it is saying that if you want to create the customer, then before this, we need to understand that we have the BP role. So these are the BP role as I just shared with you. Now I'll just show you in the system how these BP roles we will be controlling. We have been given a option called cross application component. We need to go into this so that we will be able to set up the business partner configuration. So we will go to the cross application component, click on this. After that, you will have here a option called business partner, SAP business partner. You can open it. Then within this, you will find the business partner and basic setting. And under the basic setting, you have the business partner role. And here you will be able to see all the business partner role available in the system. So as I just shared with you, we have been given some of the standard rules provided by the SAP only. And these roles we will be able to find out. For example, here we have a bidder role, we have a business partner role for the service provider, billing unit for account holder, for authorized drawer, and so on and so forth. So now we will be able to see same way, we will be able to see the business partner role for the vendor and customer. And for that, what we can do, we can go for the business partner role, which is FLVN 00. So you can just see this is the business partner role for the finance supplier, and we have the FLVN 01. This is the business partner role for the supplier, so that we can able to create the purchase invoices. Same way, if you want to see the business partner role for the customer, we have here FLCU 00 and FLCU 01. So these are the business rules we have for the finance customer and customer. So the difference between these two, here we can able to create the direct entry with the first rule, whereas with the second rule we'll be able to create the entries coming from the sales order. So now if I can create my new business partner role, yes, you can create your new business partner role as well. But here we can also use the role provided by the SAP. So here I am going to use the role provided by the SAP, which is FLVN 00. So here it is saying that before you go into the role, first we need to have the standard role. Here you can just see not the standard but the general data role for the BP, which is 6 times 0. So how we'll be able to view it in the system? So you just go at the top, you will be able to find out the business partner role at a general data level. At a general data level, we'll be able to see this role. Now we can we can go to the vendor account group, and for the creation of the vendor account group, we have the transaction code OBD3. So let's have here the transaction code OBD3. Enter. We can go to the new entry button, click on the new entry button. So let's have here the vendor account group. It is VN VN 91 VN 91. We are working on a company code 2191. So here we have a vendor. Let's say the vendor account group ID we have chosen as VN 91. So this is the vendor account group ID for V2191. Now I want to make it as a regular, so it is not one time. And then we can see here we have three segments: general data, company code data, and purchase data. Within the company code data, under the account management, I want to maintain the reconciliation account as a required entry. So what is the reconciliation account? Reconciliation account is your controlling account through which whatever the subledgers entries you have made and those subledger entries you want to see in a single account, so you will be able to see through the reconciliation account. So for that, what you need to do? You need to link this reconciliation account in your subledger or in your vendor master. Now, it is saying that after creating this vendor account group, we need to have the number range. So here we can see the number range, maintain the number range with the transaction code XKN1. Let's have here the transaction code XKN1, enter. Here we can see we have the name as creator. So this is the number range we have for the vendor. Now we can click on the number range, click on the change interval button. And here in the S4 HANA, they have also given us the free interval option where we will be able to find out easily that okay, what are the free numbers available, the free number ranges available. Because earlier we used to get the message that this number range already exists in the system and the number range is overlapping. So now that free interval option is there through which we'll be able to find out which number range doesn't exist and what are the interval we can use for our vendor and customer or BP number range. So we can click on the free number and here you can just see the free number we have. It is from 10,000 to 19,000, then from 211 to 211, 512, 30, 999 and so on and so forth. So I will be picking this number range 211 512 30 999. So here we can click on the new entry button, click on this insert line, and then we have the number range as 91, and it will be starting from 211 512 211 99. So that is my number range for my vendor. Now I want to make it as external. So for that I will be selecting the checkbox as external. Now we can press enter button and we can save it. Click on the save option and enter. Now after maintaining this vendor account group and assigning maintaining this number range, so we need to assign this number range with the vendor account group, and this assignment will be able to have with the help of transaction code OBAS. Transaction code is OBAS. If you don't want your number should be same as your BP number, in that case you can start with the creation of the BP as well. Why I have started with the vendor account group, so that we can maintain the number range accordingly. That is the reason. Now we need to link, we need to just assign the numbering with the vendor account group, and for that we have OBAS. Yeah. So now we need to click on position and we need to go for the vendor account group ID we have maintained as VN91, and we can mention here the number range we have maintained as 91 and we can save it. Click on the save option. So the number range and the account group we have maintained for the vendor. Now let's go to the business partner, and for that we can we can start with the first step, the business partner role we have seen already. For the general data, it is 6 times 0. For finance and supplier also, we have seen the role. Now, what next we need to do? So we need to now maintain the numbering for the business partner as well. And for that, we can go to the SPRO, IMG, and then we can go to the cross application component once again. Then we have the business partner basic setting, and here we need to go to the option number range. Here we have the define number range and define the grouping and assign the number range. So first we'll go with the define number range. This time we will be maintaining the number range internal. So this is the BU underscore partner number range, that is a business partner number range. We can click on the change interval And we can see here we have the existing number ranges. We can see the free number ranges. Click on this free number, just display the free number ranges. You can just see the first number is matching with the number we have maintained for our vendor. So we can pick this number range. Now we can click on the new line item or the new insert line, and here we can have the IDs as a 91, and then we can have here the numbering. Once again it is 211 512 211 double line, and this time I want to make it as a internal. Now press enter button and then save it. Enter. Now the next thing is we need to define the BP group. BP group is same as your vendor account group, and we need to link this numbering with that BP group. So the next option you can just see it is saying that define the grouping. BP grouping here means BP grouping and assign the number range. That is what we have in the step number 3 here. Now we can go for the define grouping.
Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. Please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon for the latest videos and notifications. You can contact us for online SAP trainings and certifications. Thank you.
And here we can click on the new entry button. These are the available BP grouping or the BP grouping defined by some other users. So or the person doing the hands-on. Now we can click on the new entry button, and we have here the BP grouping ID as BP 91. So it can be maintained up to the 4 character could be alphanumeric. I have given the ID as BP 91. Then the short name is it is the BP group for 2191, and the long name we can have here it is the 2191 BP grouping for the business partner. So that is the long text we have maintained, and this is the same text which we will be able to see when we will be creating the business partner master data. Then here we have the numbering. So the numbering we are going to link it is 91. So 91 doesn't mean that vendor 91. So it is the number in 91 which we have given in the previous step. Now we can press enter button, and after that we can click on the save option. Click on the save option, enter. Now the next thing is CVI. CVI means a customer vendor integration, and for that we need to go into the master data synchronization, because now we are going to link with this. We are going to link the business partner with the customer or with the vendor, and for that we need to have that master data synchronization, and within that we have the CVI integration. So for this CVA integration, we have the same option. We need to, within the cross application component, we have the master data synchronization. We will come out of this, and here we can go into the master data synchronization to come out of this SAP business partner and go to the master data synchronization. So here we can see the master data synchronization, and after that we can go to the customer slash vendor integration, and after that we can further go to the business partner setting. Then we can go to the, here we have been given the option as a setting for the customer integration and setting for the vendor integration. So since I want to first create the vendor, so I will go for the setting for the vendor integration. Then after that we need to go to the option called field assignment for the vendor integration, last option. And here we have the option as assign key. We can click on the assign keys. And then we have here the option as define the number in assignment for the direction BP to vendor. And we have the second option as define the number in assignment for the direction vendor to BP. So in which scenario we'll go for the first option, and in which scenario we'll use the second option in case you have the green implementation where you are creating the business partner and vendor from the scratch. So in that case, you can go for the first option, that is the business partner to the vendor. So you will be linking your business partner to your vendor data. if there is a brown implementation where we have already the client is already using the SAP system as their ERP application, and now they want to get migrated this SAP ECC to the SAP HANA. So in that case, we need to now integrate the same set of the vendor with the business partner. In that case, we can go for the second option, that is the define number assignment for the direction vendor to PP. So since we are having here the green implementation where we are creating the vendor custom from the scratch, we will go with the first option. Click on this, and here we will be assigning the BP grouping with the vendor account grouping. And here we will be also selecting the checkbox that we want to have the same number of the vendor as my BP number. So for that, we need to select the checkbox. If you don't require the same number, then you can deselect the checkbox. So we need to click on the new entry button, and here we will be mentioning the BP grouping ID, which we have maintained as BP 91. And after that, we have here the vendor account group ID, that is VN91. And here this is what it is saying, that business partner assignment of the account group of your vendor with the BP grouping. Now we can select this checkbox and then enter. If there would be anything, there would be any numbering mismatch or anything with respect to the assignment of the vendor, so the system is going to give you the error message. So here we don't have here the error message, means the configuration is correct. Now we can save it. Click on the save option, enter, and then we can come out of here. Now it is saying that if you want to create the vendor, then we need to also have the account, the reconciliation account. And before we set up the reconciliation account, we can set up the inventory account. So let's have here the inventory account. Okay, so in the last class, I think I have shared with you in when we have discussed about the general GL master data, we have discussed about the GL account type as a non-operative expense or income, primary cost or revenue, secondary and balance sheet. So at that point of time, we didn't have the account group for the non-operative. So I have set up that now down the line when we will be creating any GL under it. So we can select this account type. Okay, now here it is saying that we have that number as 700,000. And if I create the any account under the GL account type, that is the it is saying that this account is created, so let it be 700,007. Now we can click on the new entry button.
Your
Here we
com-
have the non-operative account type, and
yeah,
the account group is going to be non-operating.
the company code is 2191.
Okay, no problem. I just want to show you that for this non-operative system is not going to ask for the cost element category. So that is what I'm just showing. So here we can go to the control data and just you go down. So like your balance sheet account, the system will not ask for the cost element group. Okay, cost element category. Okay, now we can create the inventory account. So let it be the raw material consumption account, and for that we have here the expense account. It is 400,000 with the within the company code 2191, and we can go for the new entry button. So here we want to create it. Now the account group we will be having here, it is the primary cost or revenue. Then account group we will have here the expense, and we can have here the short text, long text as raw material consumption account, or generic name we can give material consumption account. We can go to the control data. We can have here the balance in the local currency, and we can give the sort key as 001, and we can have here the cost element category as 1. Then we can go to the bank interest tab and we can have the field status group as G01 and we can save. Click on the save option. Now the next account I will be getting, that is the reconciliation account, and for that I am taking here the number as 100 500 randomly. So because we have maintained the number range from 100,000 to 19999, so we can give it the number. So here I have selected this number between that range and let it be 100 500. Now here we need to choose a account type as this is a balance sheet account because this we will be taking on the liability side, and we will be selecting here the account group as liability. Then we can have here the short name, long name as sundry creditor account, sundry creditor account. We can go to the control data again. Here we need to give the account type for the reconciliation account. So since we are creating it for the vendor, we'll be selecting here the account type as vendor, and after that we can go down and we will be giving here the short key. Let it be the vendor number, which is 012, and then we can go to the bank interest tab. We can go to the bank interest tab. Click on the bank interest tab. Here we can go for the field status group. It is G067. Now we can save it. So we are done with the GL creation. Now what next we need to do? It is saying that now you need to create your vendor master data or you need to create your BP master data. So when you will be using the transaction code XK01, because XK01 if you use in the system, it will redirect you to the BP screen only, where you can create your business partner, and within that screen you will be able to create your vendor, customer, or any type of business partner you can set up over here, over that in that screen only. Now it is saying that this transaction code XK023, which we use for the changes, if we want to make any changes or if we want to display the vendor customer, then that screen, that transaction code, those transaction codes are still working. So here I'm going to use this transaction code XK01 and it will redirect me to the BP screen. So let's observe here. We have here the transaction code XK01. Now here it is saying that you can create the business partner, and this business partner we can create the person, organization and group as a business partner. Let it be the organization. Enter. So here we have the business partner screen, and in that screen when we are going to set up the business partner, so first of all we need to select the relevant role. So here we will be creating this business partner at a general data level, and for that we can have here the role as 0000 0000, and based on your role you will observe here these tabs will be changed by the system. You can just see presently we have here the tab as general data. Just a minute. We have here the tabs as a general data vendor, but after that we will find some changes. So click on the create button. It is saying that do you want to create the business partner? Yes. Now you can just see now we will be able to see the changes here in the tab because we have changed the role. So if you change the role accordingly, the system is going to show you the tabs. Okay? Relevant tab will be shown by the system. Let's say it is for the if that business partner is to be set up as a bank customer or the billing unit. So accordingly, the tabs will be changed by the system. So you can just see now only the relevant tabs the system is just showing, and now the other tabs have been removed because those are not relevant. So here we can go with the journal one, that is the business partner journal, and that is 0000. It is saying that do you want to create it? Yes, we want to create it. Click on the create button. Now it is also important that you select here the relevant group because, so that the business partner can be set up under that group only you have maintained. So here we have maintained the group as it is 2191 group, PP group.
BP91.
Here it is the BP91. We can select this group, and after that we can give the information for our business partner, for example, name, address, then city, language. So this type of information we can provide. So let's have here the name as this is Samsung or the HP printer, and then we can have here the actually in the master data. So this uh, code is required. So I will be putting here the city code or the postal code, which is I'm taking randomly as 11001 because we need to have here the 5-digit number. Then we can have here the city name, country ID, and we can go down. Here we need to also give the language. So let's have the language as English. Now we can click on the save option. Click on the save option. If you want to give the information in other tab, you can provide that information. So here we can go and save this information. So my vendor, my business partner is now created. So it has been created by the system, and the number we can observe here, it is the same we have maintained under the number range for the business partner. It is 21151 because since we have given the number range from 21151 to 99, so since it is the first BP number, system has given the number as 21151. Now we will see that when we will be extending this business partner to the vendor role, so the number is going to be same. But for that, so since I want to use this business partner for as my vendor, so what I need to do, I need to extend the same number to my vendor role. So for that, we need to choose here the relevant role. So for that, if you need to make the changes in your business partner, and for the change, you will go to the menu. In the menu, you will go to the change option, click on the change button. Now here we can select the change in the BP role option. Click on this, and here you will have the role as FI FLVN00. That is the FI role, FI supplier role, so that you will be able to create the FI invoices. Direct posting, you will be able to have it here with this role. Click on this. Now, when I have selected this role, you can just see the system has made the changes in the tabs. Okay. Now we have this information, same system is picking from the business partner, like the address, name, and all that. Now, what we need to do, we need to go to the vendor, we need to click on this vendor general data, click on this. And here you can just see, we will be able to see that CVI integration. So CVI integration means the integration of business partner with the vendor. So we will be able to see now we have received the same number as my BP number. So vendor number is again it is 21151. And if I need to know that this vendor number exists under which vendor account group, so here the system is giving you the information that this vendor number exists under the vendor account group VN91, and also we will be also able to know that this vendor account group is linked to the BP group. This VN91 is linked to the BP91 which we have selected at the time of creating the BP grouping at the time of creating the business partner. Now, if you want the same vendor to be extended into the new role, that is a supplier role, so that we will be able to, or that is yeah, so that is a supplier role, and for that you need to so that you can start creating the purchase invoices against the purchase order. So for that, you need to select here the role as VFLVN01. But before we go into that, we need to give the reconciliation account for this vendor. And this information we will be able to see at which level? At a general data level. At a general data level, these tabs are available. But if you want to maintain any information at a company code level, so you can just see here we have a button called company code. We can click on this. You click on the company code button, it will ask for the company code, that for which company code you want to set up this vendor information. So I want to set up the vendor information for my company code 2191 and press enter button. So the moment you will click on the 2191, so here the system is going to once again make the changes in the tab. Now we have maintained the reconciliation account as a required entry. So the system is asking for the reconciliation account, which we have set up as 100 500. If you want to give some more information, for example, in the vendor payment transaction, you want to give the terms of payment, you want to give the this check double invoice, you will be able to do it. So let it be the terms of payment as 0001, and then we can click on the save option. Click on the save option. Now the same business partner we have extended to the FI role so that we will be able to post the invoice. So that is the process of creating the vendor. And now if you want the same BP number to be used for the creation of the customer, so we can use it. And when we will start working on the AR, so we can also refer back to this BP number or the BP grouping, and we can create it. And we have the document date as today's date, it is 7th of December 2020. Document type is KR, company code is 2191, and we can go and we can select here the vendor number, which is 21191. Enter. We can find out the vendor from the list, press F4 key. For the company code 2191, we can see the vendor number. It is 21151, not 9151. So let's have here 21151. And here you can just see the system is just showing the terms of payment 0001. Yes. So whatever the information we have maintained in the master, system is going to show you while doing the invoice, while creating the invoice, it will show you that information. So in case we have maintained the terms of payment in the master, and we have also maintained the information in the invoice. So the information which we have maintained in the invoice, that is different from your master. In that case, the system will be giving the preference to which section. It will give the preference to the line item, or whatever we have maintained the master, so that will have the preference.
The invoice.
Yes, so whatever the information, whether it is a payment method, terms of payment, if we will be mentioning in the line item, so system is going to give you the preference, the information you have maintained in the line item over the information we have in the master data. So let's have here the amount as it is 20,000, and we can give the text as purchase invoice. Posting key 40 for the raw material consumption GL, which is 400,000, and enter. Amount we can have here asterisk, which is same as my first line item amount. And then if you are using any profit center assignment, so that we can enter. And then we can use the text option for the text option, we can use plus sign. Now we can click on this document overview button. It is saying that the since it is a cost, it is a expense account, and for that the cost center is required. So we can mention the cost center. Yes, so we can go to the OKB9 and we can enter over there. Now we can save it, and we can see the document number system has given you based on the range we have maintained for the document type KR, which is starting from 300,000, 300 to 309. Since it is the first document, system has given us the number as 300. So this is how we have made the posting in the account payable.
Thanks for watching this video. You can like, comment, share, also email us for more details. Thank you.